And then the point is so the land subsidence, so then it shows on the lowland part of area, the black one is land subsidence happening in Southeast and East Asia. So we know in 30% population live in Southeast and Asia, and most of them are living in the lowland area due to the maybe work or yeah, they live in the lowland area for many reasons. And then most of them also live in coastal zone, and majority they depend on agriculture. And however, more than 60% of in the area Southeast and Asia consists of the pit soil. And then due to the change of land use to agriculture practice, so the characteristic on the pit it's become changing. So one of the one of the problem on the pit is we call as oxidation or fire because they want to just cut the forest by illegal logging by fire. So due to this situation, so the land subsidence become happening and then follows by flood. Okay, this is the forest loss in Sumatra. So then I will bring you where Sumatra is after this figure. This is actually a movie. It is moving actually, but I don't know what is happening, but it is not working, I think. So then it is a movie shows that how the forest become lost by year since 1982 until 2018. So then this is not working, but that's okay. So this is where the forest during yeah, in Sumatra, 1982. Then we will show this is the mostly consists of the peatland. So this is conversion, this forest conversion mostly to agriculture and other land use. So the research objective of this work is, first of all, we want to understand what is the changing and occurring on Sumatra peatland forest, especially in lowland area. Then after we know that what is the happening by identification one by one problem related to land subsidence and flooding, and then we will try to identify the land and water characteristics from because when we are talking about water resources, so then we have to consider the upstream, middle stream, and downstream part. So then we will identify what is the happening and due to on the land and water interaction or characteristics from the upstream to the downstream part. And the third, the objective of this research, how we developed and established one empirical modeling, which is we give a name adaptive modeling using the empirical method and spatial approach. So then this is a combination between the empirical and the GIS modeling. So the fourth, and after we combine the empirical method and the spatial approach, so then we try to predict the long-term impact as consequences of in the certain point and spatially. So then the empirical method, so that I will take for the measuring the certain point, and the spatially I'm using the GIS. So this is the situation, how the interaction between the land and water on one specific area, or we call as catchment. So then there is two type of the hydrograph. So we could look at in the top side and on left top. So two type of the hydrograph, where one is if it is look like long situation, so then the peak discharge lower than if this is wider catchment area. So this is different. But in this case, we have the first one. So how this is actually flood is not is not due to the rainfall, but there is another factor that is influence flood in this lowland area. So I can make a scheme between how this is happening, the first station before the fires, and due to the land use changing. So then we can imagine how the runoff become increased, and then the land is become subsided. So after this situation happening, so the flood is become increased, and then after on the delta lowland, so then the sea level rise or tide is propagates into the middle stream and upstream. So this is the area of interest in the middle of upstream. So then due to the combination at the upstream and the downstream part. And the subsidence is if I make a sketch of the land, the land surface. So this is due to the one of the oxidation process. So the surface is getting lower and the water is coming into that area. So this is the same of state of the art that I use to develop a model, empirical model. So then in the pitland, so we found land subsidence rate range for 1 centimeter per year to more than 10 centimeter a year. So because actually pit can act like water reservoir when the rainfall happens, so then the pit can we use as the natural water reservoir actually on lowland area. But however, the artificial drainage of the pitland creates the shrinkage and erosion of the dry pit. So this is some state of the art that we start to develop the empirical model. So we can divide it into two typical of the process of subsidence. So physical process can also cause the land subsidence, and biochemical process is also can cause the land subsidence. What is the physical process? Maybe civil engineering know exactly how the consolidation process from 5 to 10 years. And the biochemical process, can be divided into two types as well for land subsidence. One is we call as oxidation. This is like evaporation process. So the oxidation due to this is the organic matter inside of the pit soil. And then the second one is shrinkage. According to the literature review, so mostly the pit subsidence is dominantly by the oxidation process. So due to the oxidation and physical layer of it, at least 70% of long-term subsidence is estimated due to the biochemical process. So then we will continue this research according to this stage of the art. So this is this situation which is happening every year in Indonesia. Indonesia, there are three big islands in Indonesia, and illegal logging is still happening until now due to the lack of law enforcement. So this is the situation. If I can draw it, so if it is fire can increase rapidly the subsidence. So this is the process subsidence, which is influenced by fire, kemudian and then groundwater extraction and oxidation shrinkage and decomposition. So first, the first layer, this is before oxidation and fire happening. So due to this is groundwater extraction, so the water table getting lower and then getting lower, and then this is the land surface is oxidation, shrinkage, and decomposition happen on the above of water table. So this is become yeah become yeah, it's because this is the surface is become subsided due to this process. And fire itself, it is just make the land subsidence process become partially. Okay. There are two measurement can I did technical measurement on the field, and then the second one empirical modeling. Actually, there were many empirical formula who has been using by Arrhenius law, linear regression, and Stephan equation. But for me, I developed because I need to adapt the situation in specific in Indonesia, because they use this model, this empirical model in the subtropical country, where we know Indonesia is belongs to the tropical country. Well, according to this measurement, so then it is found the varying thickness of some subsidence in Southeast and Asia, it is about 0.3 until 20 meters total, not per year. So the methodology I use, this is first I will describe the study of area, and then I took the satellite imagery data, and we have our own data, which is called DEMNAS, the Digital Elevation Model. NAS means our country, national level. So then we have a 5-meter grid, 5-meter multiple 5-meter grid. So we use data to consider in spatially. So I did data observation and acquisition specifically for the flood and rain and subsidence. So then I use this data to predict the land subsidence, and which is I call as adaptive land subsidence. So then this is for measuring, so then we will know how much subsidence happens in this area. So this is more or less the hydrological data and assessment what we did. So then this is rainfall data, water level, temperature, discharge, and land use. So the model one is the point, the certain point. So this is, I'm sorry, this is the spatial spatial analysis. So then use the GIS, how the land and water interaction between this upstream and downstream part, and then the situation is was measuring before subsidence happened. And then this is the GIS I use. I think most of you already familiar with this model. And then I skip it. And this is the measurement I took on the field. So then you will see this is quite black. Black means after fire. So this is the forest, the canopy forest, where we have a loose until now is more than 85%. So then this is remain 50% forest in Indonesia. So this is black because it is after fire, and then you will look. This is the water level you will see, and then this is surface the surface after the water table. So there is one you will see, maybe you could see the white and the red. White means this is the stick that I use to measure, and the white mean is this is the measurement about the level of subsidence of the surface, the land surface. So this is okay. This is we install. We call as hobo logger. Maybe you also know what is a function of the logger. So logger we install during the rain season and dry season. Oh, I'm sorry. Indonesia has two seasons, dry season and wet season during the rainy and then dry season. So then we install the this logger during the dry season and rainy season in order to know how is the rainfall effective to the groundwater table. And this is the logger itself. So the data we record in this tool, and then we download it data, and this is more or less how it look like the data and graphic. And every 10 minutes we record data in every 10 minutes for 1 year and 1.5 year, 18 months. So after collecting data, so this is Sumatra. Maybe some of you don't know what is the Sumatra. Sumatra is the west part of Indonesia. Very west part of Indonesia. This is Sumatra. So then I went to this is Malaysia actually. This is Malaysia, and then this is the area of interest where very vulnerable area with the flooding, because this is the Malacca Strait. When we know Malacca has the tide 8 meter from the highest and to the lowest 8 meter tide. So then when the tide is increased to the higher level, so then it's become propagate into that area. And some of area I will show you later in movie. Some area is already disappeared due to the land subsidence and flooding in this area. So this is Sumatra, and this is the typical of the soil type, and this is all with different characteristics. So due to this is the flooded area already, so the sample was taken. The samples were taken in these 3 areas. So this is the city, the capital city of this area. So that is more or less quite easy to take some data because this is the city. So this is the vulnerable area, how it look later. So then I will show you. So this is, sorry. So first, this is the identification data collection. So this is the hydrological and then land subsidence and surface water using the spatial data. Sorry. Yeah, when we are talking about the water management, this is the catchment area, this is the upstream part, and this is the lower the downstream part. This is the strait, the Malacca Strait, and this is Malaysia. So in Malacca Strait, this is the tide propagation, and this is the river we call as the Siak River, and this is the capital of city. How it is treated by flooding and subsidence. This is the city, and then this is this catchment consists of 2 parts: the upstream part and downstream part, and the city is exactly in the middle. When you look at the graph in this figure, so this is the upstream part. This is the catchment. So look the correlation relationship between the rainfall and the water level on the river, on the Siak River. So when there is when it is raining, so the water level is become increased. When it is raining, the water level in the river is also increasing. So this is the correlation between the water level on the river, the main river, and the raining. But look at the downstream part, so look when the pink one is raining, So the water level is still higher. It means there is no correlation between the raining and the water level in that river in the lower part, in the downstream part. So it means this is the tide propagation. But one thing, this is the specific because in this area, if there is if it is heavy rain, it is heavy rain, and but low tide, but there is no flood. But flood is only occurring if the raining happening during the high tide. So this is vulnerable. But if the heavy raining happen during the low tide, and this is not flooded. So this is more or less the concept what I used to develop, and then this is the frame in the red frame. So that I use this is empirical method that I calculate the subsidence. This is I improve uh, by this model. So this is more or less the data what I were taken from the Hubble logger. So there were 5 actually, but I only like to use 3 of them because due to the I mean yeah I installed 7 actually. 2 was stolen. Two of Hubble logger were stolen and 1 broken, and then I used 3 only to calibration the empirical model I developed. So this is one of them I give you as example. So the blue one is the temperature of soil. I mean, on the surface soil above the water level. So the blue one is the temperature of soil on above the water level, above of the water level. So and then the red one is the groundwater level itself. So we will look at this graph. If the groundwater level getting lower, so the temperature is getting higher. If the temperature is lower, for example, during the raining, so the groundwater level is higher. This is the how is correlation, correlation between the groundwater level and soil temperature. So this is 2 parameters I will use and consider to to predict the land subsidence, 2 of them. So this is in every minute. Every minute, the data was recorded, and every minute during for 18 months. And after calibration the model, so this is 4 graphs. Actually, this is 4. The blue one is this is the result of the formula I developed, and this is from the K1, K2, K3. This is a 3 from 3 location where we can make this is the average of the depth of water table, and this is the axis is land subsidence. So we can see from this average of water table. For example, this is in centimeter. For example, if water table from the land surface for the surface is 80 centimeter, so the subsidence is more or less 10 centimeter per year. So if the water table is 1 meter, 1 meter water table above the surface, the land surface, so the land subsidence is more or less 12 centimeter per year. So it is about this is more or less the result of this is research, the annual subsidence with these 3 locations. So I create a graphic to identify the land subsidence for more area for the more area. So then this is if correlation between the soil temperature and the subsidence. So D mean D1, D2, D3, D4, and D7 mean is groundwater table. So by using this graph, so then we can fastly predict how subsidence will will happen in that area using this graphic. For example, if the soil temperature during the fire, for example, it is 36 degrees Celsius. So if the water table it is about what is D4 50 centimeter, yeah, D4, then 50 centimeter. So then we can we know it is the annual subsidence rate is 6 millimeter per year. I'm sorry, this is centimeter. Sorry, this is 6 centimeter per year. Yeah, I typed wrong. This is 6 centimeter per year. And also, if it is 40, so then the groundwater table, for example, is D7. So by 40 degree, so this is the annual subsidence is more than 10 centimeter per year. This is more what I use this graphic to predict the subsidence on that area. Yeah. So this is the spatial analysis, what is happening during the recent situation and future situation. And due to this is the second figure is without subsidence, and the third figure is subsidence. I don't know why it is covered by this video in this, but this is I'm sorry, this is yeah, this is covered by this video. So this is more or less the situation. This is the flood happening now. This is the recent situation, but without subsidence. So the subsidence I can show you this is, but this is I'm sorry, this cannot be shown, but I will maybe later I can share you the PPT. So the conclusion, so it was forest was great disappear, but no, we don't have forest. Yeah, we remain 50% forest. So then more they convert the forest for the agriculture, plantation, and palm oil, and rainfall actually is the critical factor in the upstream, but in this area rainfall is not the single factor. Uh, it is happening when during the rainfall and the tide fluctuation. So then this is correct. This is correlated with the land interaction. So using that model, empirical model, so then we have we show you then we have 12.5 centimeter per year subsided on that area. So in the scenario I show you in the figure, so then at least in scenario 1, our subsidence, it was flooded 10,000 hectare per 63 hectare available, and scenario 2 with the subsidence, it is flooded 16,000 hectare per 63 hectare the area. So this is the two comparison. What we could do to protect the area against the subsidence and flooded. So this is one of the management practice. How we block the canal to make sure the water table is still higher, yeah, at least 10 centimeter from the surface, land surface. So this is 10 centimeter until 20 centimeter. We keep the water in order to make the pit wet, still wet. So then we can reduce the oxidation process if the pit soil is wet. So this is the one of management practice what we have installed in that area. How to keep the area not disappear due to the land subsidence and not flooded. I think that is that I can share you for this moment. If I still have a time, so then I promise you to yeah to play the movie, yeah, about the project. Thank you. Thank you, madam.
Yeah, madam. So the video, how it will be played?
Okay, I will share it. Is it okay?
Yeah.
Okay, I will share. Mm.
in the future.
This is Indonesia.
This is part of Southeast Asia. And this is the map that shows the loss of productive land in the future. In about 50 years, large parts of these areas will suffer severe flooding. Extensive coastal lowland areas in Kalimantan will become useless. In Sarawak as well, and also in Sumatra. This will not happen because of an earthquake or a tsunami. It's because of drainage. The Southeast Asian landscape consists of mountains, tropical rainforests, lowland peat swamps, and plantations. More and more, the peat swamps are deforested. Peat swamp forests make place for plantations, pulpwood, and mainly palm oil. To produce pulpwood or palm oil, the water level in the swamps has to be decreased by drainage. Because of this drainage, the organic peat soil will dry out, become sensitive for fires, and burn. To establish plantations, the natural forest is removed and drainage canals are dug to get rid of the water. As soon as the water is removed, the drained organic material will be broken down and is released to the atmosphere as carbon dioxide, CO2, thus contributing to climate change. Loss of water and soil carbon causes the peatland to subside by 3 to 5 centimeters per year. This makes the landscape increasingly vulnerable for flooding during the wet season. Every dry period, the oxidation will continue and the soil levels will become lower and lower, resulting in regular and prolonged floods after rain. Over a period of decades to half a century, the landscape will subside to levels at which drainage becomes impossible, and the entire area will be flooded. Cultivation of oil palm and other plantation crops will be impossible. The land will be left barren and unproductive and flooded for long periods of time. Within half a century, Sarawak will lose productive land along 400 kilometers of coastline. The sea will intrude, and the peatlands will be flooded up to 50 kilometers inland. Also, Kalimantan will lose thousands of square kilometers of productive land. The same will happen in Sumatra. Villages and plantations will increasingly suffer from floods. People will lose their jobs and livelihoods. What can be done to prevent this disaster? The drainage of the peat swamps has to be stopped. Dams have to be constructed in order to restore the water level. Instead of pulp or palm oil plantations, other kinds of land use have to be introduced. There are hundreds of local swamp species that can be cultivated to produce commercially attractive products without drainage. This way, the peat soils can be preserved and subsidence can be stopped and flooding prevented. With these innovative wetland use practices, there will be a future for next generations.
Yeah, listen with.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a nice video, madam. Yeah. Participants, any queries? Participants, do you have any queries? Madam, I have one doubt.
Mm-hmm.
Madam, how to stop the seawater intrusion? Like, what are the steps taken by the government in Sumatra
Mm-hmm.
to check the seawater intrusion?
Seawater intrusion.
Yeah,
Is it?
yeah.
I'm sorry, your voice is not. I mean,
See,
I mean,
in
can you
islands like
repeat?
Sumatra,
Mhm.
how the seawater
Mhm.
intrusion is checked?
Oh, ah, okay, okay, yeah. When we can see from the movie, yeah, of course, this is the salt intrusion in this area. So then, at least in the part of the capital of city, well, mostly they cannot use the groundwater, the groundwater anymore. So most of
Okay,
yes, because it is the intrusion, the water into the salt intrusion is already arrived into the capital of city in the middle, exactly in the middle of the catchment area. So because of the situation, the most of people are using the rainwater. They
oh,
collect the rainwater for the daily
okay,
consumption. But I think
oh,
we know it is not good. It is not good, yeah, actually. But
okay.
a part of them, they buy water. They buy fresh water for cooking. For cooking. So it is very expensive, actually. I think it is more expensive than the oil actually.
Oh,
Yeah.
first time I'm hearing water is more expensive than the
Second
oil.
oil. Yes, yes, in that area. Yes.
Okay.
That's true.
Any queries, participants? Okay. So,
Hello, ma'am. Can
yeah,
you hear? Yeah.
yeah.
Ma'am, I have a question regarding the subsidence of peatland. How does it contribute to forest fire?
Yeah. So the oxidation process, it is happening due to the high temperature. If it is the low temperature, so the land subsidence, it is normally will be small. But if it is high temperature, so the land surface it's become more subsided if the in high temperature. During the burn, the forest burn or fires, so when the temperature is become more higher, getting higher. So, for example, if the fire is not exactly on the peatland, even more, it is happening in the outside of area, so it is affected to the temperature as well. So the temperature, even in the city, in the island, it is the temperature we feel the temperature is become higher. So this is temperature. It is can give a very big contribution to process oxidation. And if fire, it is happen on exactly on the pit layer, so then it is suddenly disappear. So if the water table is getting lower, so then the surface on the top, so then it is yeah, it is suddenly disappear. So then it is the subsidence on the pit because pit is of the organic matter, isn't it?
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for the informative session.
Yeah, you are welcome.
Any other queries, participants? Shall we conclude the session? Okay. Uh, okay. Thank you, madam. Thank you,
You are
Dr.
welcome.
Nurhamida, madam. Thanks for helping us in knowing about the this effect on land subsidence in exacerbating the flood vulnerability. So you are very detailed about that topic on saying about what are the methodologies followed, what data have been used, and how you conclude, like how you do the flood vulnerability. So thank you so much. It was might be it will be helpful for all our participants, and the video was really explaining in detail and the actual science behind why the flood is happening in the islands. So that video was very informative.
Mhm.
Thank you so much, madam. Thanks for this session, and thanks for accepting our invitation. And during this COVID period, you immediately accepted our invitation and presented this session. Thank you so much.
Yes, I also deliver my speech during this COVID, and I will very yeah I say thank you very much also to you for send me the invitation so that when we could share each other. And also I also want to know more about what is the situation of in India exactly. Unfortunately, the research wasn't conducting in South Asia in India, but I hope
Okay.
maybe when we can increase this research to India as well. Maybe we have the same similar experience related to land subsidence and flooding as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
thank you very much for to give me this opportunity for me to share what I am conducting right now.
Yeah, as you rightly pointed out, this COVID-19 situation is very worst throughout the world.
Yeah,
But every bad time will have its own scientific value. So
yeah,
these are the occasions a good learner can utilize in a right way
yeah,
through such programs like faculty development programs and webinars.
yeah,
So many webinars are happening in many of the colleges.
yeah.
So the faculties are utilizing this time for new learning.
Yeah. Excellent program indeed. Yeah, this is for 1 week, so then we continually give some. Yeah, we can share knowledge and experience.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, madam. So I conclude this session with a thanks note. So for the next session at 2 o'clock, the link will be shared in another half an hour through group mail ID and as well as through the WhatsApp group. So please join for the next session at 2 o'clock. So we'll conclude this session. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. Bye.
Bye, madam.
Bye.